The Inquisitor's hand * Vegas watched gods blink. The desert watched something else, a city boy and a starborn woman threading a needle the size of a planet. Dawn, convoy quiet, is a lie. Exterior Nevada desert blue Donna. Thin convoy hums along a maintenance road. Mustang up front. A National Guard Humvee, a battered box truck with its logo spray-painted over, and 2 dirt bikes fanned wide. The light is cold, the kind that sharpens shadows and hides intentions. Inside the Mustang, Arman drives one-handed, knuckles raw. Elara sits sideways, hoodie down, glow faint, eyes scanning a hologram projected off her wrist like a pool of liquid stars. Arman, tell me we're not walking into another mousetrap. Elara, if it is, we spring it on purpose. Arman, great. Love that for us. Her map pulses a thread of waypoints. The dissidents left encoded meteorological noise. Arman taps the dash. The Mustang's alien relay purrs, syncing to her rhythm. Radio Sergeant, Humvee, 2 minutes to Dry Creek switchback. You sure about the back door? Arman, never used a front door in my life. Sergeant, copy that. Try not to get dead. Elara watches Arman's profile, the set of his jaw, the stubborn line of his mouth. She reaches without thinking, sets her palm on the back of his neck. His shoulders loosen. His breath evens. Elara soft. Your body believes you before your mind does. Arman half smile. Stick around. Teach the rest of me. The road drops into a sand-carved canyon. Walls close. Sky a ribbon. Canyons make the wind sound like secrets. Sometimes they are. Switchback, welcome committee. Exterior Dry Creek switchback. Continuous say. Dust plume blooms ahead, too neat to be wind. The dirt bikes peel outward. The Humvee grinds lower. The box truck rattles like a cough that won't quit. Arman low. Ambush geometry. Classic. Elara, or courtesy. Dissident said. Her wrist display stutters. A new signal overlays the map. Precise. Clean. Wrong. Elara frowning. That's council formatting, wearing dissident punctuation. Arman, a fake whisper. Elara, a stolen throat. He flicks the high beams twice. The prearranged friend Orpho. Blink. The canyon answers with nothing. Then 3 white flashes from the ridge and a pause. The right pattern, wrong cadence. Sergeant radio. Hushed. I don't like it. Arman, stay low. Eyes up. A figure appears on the bend, ahead, hands up. No weapon, wearing a desert scarf and dissident cloak. Younger than expected. Fright in the eyes. Resolve in the stance. Scout calling. You're late, Arman. Traffic in Vegas. The scout motions them forward. Elara's glow tightens to her skin. Barely a halo dot as the Mustang creeps by. Arman sees it, the tiniest glint under the scarf at the boy's throat. Not jewelry. A collar, alien weave, polished like a promise. Arman, without moving lips. Collar. Elara, council leash. He's compromised. The scout meets Elara's gaze. For a breath, shame flickers. Then his pupils dilate. Somebody else looks out through his face. Scout voice shifts, modulated thin. Elara of Arion. The desert is not a bridge. It is a cradle for a fire. The Mustang's HUD spikes red. Ridge lines on both sides. Wake-thin rods unfolding like metallic cat. Rail darts. Arman yelling. Down. He floors it. The first dart hammers the asphalt behind the trunkinetic slap. Rocks skittering like thrown teeth. The Humvee fishtails. Armor, all noise and stubbornness. The box truck lurches. A back door bangs open inside. A spaghetti of coils, inverters, stolen generators. Sergeant radio, contact left, contact right. Elara calm/fast. I can bend 5 darts. Not 6. Arman, then we only let 5 fly. He steers for the narrowest line, force the ambushers to share their shot. The rods spit. Darts scream. Elara's hands lift palms out. Space thickens. 3 darts skate and shear into the canyon wall, carving clean grooves like an artist with too much time to strike the road and skip forward, programmed to ricochet. The 6th, the ugly one, comes in low, dirty. Learning. Arman kicks the Mustang sideways. Scandy. Flick back end loose. Front biting. The dart slices past the rear quarter. Clips the box truck. Instant boom tailgate shreds. Gear tumbles out in glittering guts, but the cab holds. Driver box truck. Screaming. We're good. Where another dart punches the engine. The truck coughs. Dies. Skids out. Blocking the lane. Arman. On me. He throws the Mustang at the choke point. The Humvee bumps the Mustang's bumper like a hand on a shoulder. Dirt bikes cut high. Engine noise bouncing off rock. Elara. Through teeth. They're switching to nets. On the ridge. Thin ribbons unroll gravity nets. Blue threads humming. Arman. We need sky. Elara. We need angle. She slaps the dash. The alien relay sings. The Mustang lifts a hair every bolt, complaining. Arman aims at a rock shelf like a fan blade. Hold, now. The Mustang kisses the shelf, bounces, tilts, threads between 2 nets, like a needle running out of thread. The Humvee doesn't fit. The sergeant throws his door open mid-roll. Sergeant to his driver. Bail, bail. They dive as the net wraps the Humvee and pins it to the rock like a butterfly in a book. Arman slams brakes up canyon. The Mustang slews sideways. Stops with its nose at a sandstone lip and a sky too far away. VO narrator. When the world narrows to the width of your breath, decisions get honest. Civilians are the mission exterior. Same seconds later. Sound cracks the canyon out weaponry. Crying. From below the switchback where the box truck died out. A minivan sits at a bad angle, hazard lights clicking silly and brave. A woman waves both arms. Wild. Woman screaming, my boy's stuck. Arman's head snaps toward the sound. Elara grabs his sleeve. Elara. It's bait. Arman, maybe it's a kid. Another rail dart hisses into the canyon wall, showering grit. The dirt bikes circle back. One rider already hit in the shoulder, wobbling. Sergeant from under net, furious. Go. Take your shot when you get one. Arman? We have 2 shots. Mission or people? Elara fast, flat. Mission saves more people. Arman, already moving. This one saves this person. He's out of the car. Down the slope. Gravel skates under his boots. Elara curses in a language that sounds like rain learning knives. Then follow us, palms up, fields ready. They reach the minivan. Front end crumpled into a boulder. Airbag dust floats like cheap snow. Inside, an 8-year-old boy leans at a wrong angle. A seatbelt half twisted across his chest, face purpling, eyes wide and unfocused. Mother sobbing, he can't breathe. Hee Arman, steadying himself. Hey, buddy, I'm Arman. We got you, okay. Elara looks once at the canyon mouth, calculates darts, nets. Engelzan makes a choice with her whole heart. Elara, to Mother. Gentle, I need you to stand back. To Arman, hold his hand. Arman too, boy, taking his fingers. Squeeze, hard as you can. Elara slides her palms until they hover an inch over the boy's chest. Not touching. Her glow condenses to a thin silver thread between her hands, then fans across the boy's ribs like a spider web made of moonlight. Elara. To herself. Map. Find. Lift. Not too much. On her world, they call this blasphemy. On ours, it's a miracle we don't have words for yet. She bends the pressure of the air inside the minivan by microns. Reamaze. The broken angle of a rib floats the seatbelt off the boy's throat without moving it at all, and teases a lung to open with a whisper of borrowed gravity. The boy gulps. Color floods back to his cheeks like sunrise coming home. Arman, laughing, wrecked. That's it, champ. That's good job. A shadow cuts the light. Arman looks up. The scout from the ridge stands 20 feet away, collar glinting, hand aimed like a remote. 2 drones settle behind him, quiet as guilt. Scout voice doubled, the other voice writing him. Attachment is leverage. Thank you for proving the theorem. Elara's hands don't move. The web of light over the boy shivers. Elara. Without looking. Arman. Arman. Say it. Elara. Don't be a song this time. Be a knife. Arman lets the boy's hand go gently. Then he moves not gently at all. He scoops a fist-sized rock and hurls it straight at the scout's collar. Not at the head. Not at the heart. The collar. The rock hits with a noise like a glass bell breaking. The modulated voice stutters. And suddenly the boy under the scarf is alone in his eyes, again blinking, confused, afraid. The drones fire. Twin lances of blue chew the boulder where Arman used to be. He rolls behind the minivan. Pebbles pepper his jacket. He looks at Elara. She still hasn't moved. Elara.com. One more breath. The boy takes it. Good. She drops her hands. The web snuffs out. The world rushes back in heat. Noise? Danger. Elara. Now lethal. My turn. She flips her palms. The air between her and the drones hardens. Not a wall an angle. The next twin shots hit it and ricochet up canyon, carving a line through a net and splitting it like a sail in a bad wind. Arman to the scout, shouting, "Run!" The kid bolts, trips, scrambles up a human body, choosing life at top speed. Sergeant radio tinny, 2 nets down. I got partial movement. The canyon answers with a new sound. Rotors, distant, but hungry. Arman, we got a window. He hooks an arm under the boy's armpits, hauls him clear. The mother sobs thank yous in a loop that sounds like prayer. Elara, to Arman, go. Get them to the convoy. Arman, what about you? Elara smiles like a secret. I owe those drones a music lesson. He runs. Knife's edge, learning to lead exterior switchback lane. Moments later Arman crests the slope, with the boy in his arms. The Humvee's net hangs in tatters. The sergeant and his driver cut it with a machete and a crowbar like it insulted their grandmothers. 1 dirt bike lies on its side. The rider's conscious, angry, bleeding through a sleeve tourniquet. Sergeant, where's your alien? Arman, teaching physics to jerks. He deposits the boy into his mother's arms. She crushes him so hard the kid squeaks. Arman turns to the sergeant. Arman fast. We need the Humvee winch on the box truck, now. Get that lane clear. Bikes high on the ledge, eyes on rods. No hero moves, just keep them honest. Sergeant, no time to be offended. Yes, sir. It fits him the ordering, not because he wants it, but because somebody has to want everybody to live. The rotors grow. A helicopter noses over the canyon lip mat. Black, wrong angles. Arman's stomach falls. Arman, counsel, skin job. Sergeant, copy. We got 1 fire and forget left. Arman, forget it. Save it for the one that matters. We buy seconds with what we have. He sprints to the Mustang, flips the trunk. Inside, melted coils from the blown jammer. Spools of copper wire, Elara's crystal spare. A battered amp. Arman, muttering, pi and physics. He drags the amp out, rips the grill, guts it to its bones. Copper across terminals, crystal wedged into a makeshift cradle. He yanks the Mustang's inverter cable, sparks snapping like angry bees. Sergeant over shoulder. What are you making? Arman. Bad news for good listeners. He thumbs the switch. The amp doesn't so much hum as growl a low animal note you feel in your teeth. The air in front of the speaker, ripple lenses. The helicopter wobbles, pilot overcorrects, skids sideways, clipping a rod mount. Darts fire wild into sky. Sergeant grins, despite himself. Weaponized rock and roll. Arman, finally living the dream. A shadow drops beside them. Elara lands light, hair a storm. Elara. Lesson taught. Arman, gold star later. Can you give the Humvee a nudge? She flicks 2 fingers. The Humvee hops an inch, rolling backward obediently as the winch sings. The box truck groans, slides, frees the lane. The helicopter steadies pilot adapting. It noses down, a snare cone blooming from its belly aiming to wrap them all and package them for delivery. Elara eyes narrowing, no cages. She lifts her hands. The cone buckles not shattering, but spinning like a whirlpool turned inside out. The helicopter shivers in its own trap. Arman to Sergeant, this is our exit. Everybody through. Go, go, go. The convoy lunges. Dirt bike first, then Humvee half-armored, half-insulted. The box truck engine dead gets a gravity push from Elara that looks like kindness dressed as sin. It rolls. Arman kills the amp, grabs the cables, tosses everything into the Mustang trunk in a tangle of sparks and hope. Elara, breathless, smiling. You made a pressure bow out of a broken song. Arman, you made a hospital out of thin air. They slam doors. The Mustang leaps. Hand revealed. Hello. Traitor exterior, canyon mouth. Continuous they burst into open desert sun, finally over the ridge. Throwing heat like a dare. The convoy strings out on the flats. Elara's wrist lights, agandescent, sigil flicker. A face appears. Keshta, dissident engineer, who first answered back in part 2. His cheek bears a fresh scar, like a parenthesis. Kesh, holla-clipped Elara, route change. We have a new nest. Coordinates. Elara's eyes narrow. Elara quiet. Say my name. Kesh, Elara of Arion. Friend. Elara say his name. Kesh, Flicker, the human. Your partner. Arman meets her gaze. He doesn't nod. He doesn't have to dot. Arman, kill it. Elara's hand cuts the transmission. The hola shatters like frost under a boot. Elara. The Inquisitor has their hand inside the dissidents. Arman, inside all of us, if we let him. Behind them, the canyon gulps, the last echo of rotors. Ahead, the desert opens like a promise, with teeth. You can win a skirmish with tricks. You win a war with trust. And today, trust was a currency more expensive than bullets. A thin contrail cuts the blue too straight, too fast. Not a plane. A kinetic lance from orbit, an arrow, with no fire. Only fall. Elara's pupils narrow to stars. Elara, urgent. To radio. All units. Brace rail impact in 20 no. 8. 15. Arman slams the brakes. The Mustang fishtails to a stop. The Humvee grinds behind them. Box truck bumping. Dirt bikes skittering wide. Everyone looks up, the lance knifes down. Not at them. Ahead, a half mile. Dust geysers. A new canyon opens where there wasn't one. The road drops off into a wound. Sergeant Horse, they cut the whole road out from under us. Arman jaws set. Then we build a new one. He looks at Elara. She's already looking at him. Already calculating the thing he's about to say. Arman, bridge us. Elara, my range, Arman, is bigger than they bet on. She exhales like a diver about to dive backward into the sky. Elara, 2 convoy, engines on, steady throttle, do not brake. On my mark. She steps out onto the asphalt. Glow climbs her arms like dawn, crawling up a mountain. The air thickens haze, without heat shimmer, like a mirage deciding to be real. Elara voice steady, carrying, mark. The Mustang rolls. And there, where a road should be, and isn't. The world holds an invisible ramp curving across the cut, gravel floating, sunlight bending. The car's weight translated into a song the universe agrees to hum for a few heartbeats. Arman's teeth rattle. The gauge cluster goes wild. He keeps his hands quiet, and his faith loud. The Mustang lands. Tires scream, bite. The Humvee follows heavier, uglier, prouder lands, so hard the suspension remembers war. The box truck floats like a miracle that knows it's a joke, then slaps down, cargo groaning. Elara's knees buckle. Arman is already out, already catching her, as she sinks. Arman forehead to hers. You did it. Elara eyes distant. I lent the world a promise. Over Arman's shoulder. A shadow passes fast, silent, thin, precise. A needle drone we haven't seen before. It tags Elara's wrist with a kiss of light. Tiny. Nothing then is gone, dissolving into the blue. Elara blinks, looks down at the point of contact. Her glow there is a fraction. Off. Elara. Barely audible. He touched me. The Inquisitor didn't just want their bodies. He wanted their pattern. The Inquisitor's handsome wars are fought with guns. Some are fought with whispers. And the worst are fought with signatures, because you can't outrun yourself. Dust and silence. The tag exterior Nevada desert. Open flats. Morning the convoy rolls to a halt. Engines coughing in the heat. Dust swirls like smoke signals that never fade. Arman jumps out of the Mustang, strides to Elara. She's standing still, staring at her wrist, where the needle drone touched her. The glow there is wrong, a fraction too sharp, like light bent the wrong way. Arman, urgent, soft. Talk to me. What did he do? Elara flat, almost dazed. He left a mark, not physical, a resonance key. He can feel where I am. Arman grips her shoulders, shakes gently. Arman, then we cut it off. Burn it, break it, whatever. Elara looks at him, eyes wide with something close to fear. Elara. If I break it wrong, I break me. When the hunter can smell your soul, hiding is a story you tell to children. Convoy divides, voices of doubt. The sergeant gathers everyone under the shade of the Humvee, sweat streaking his dusty face. Sergeant, if the enemy can trace her, then she's a beacon. Every mile we drive, we drag crosshairs behind us. That puts my men at risk. Arman squares up, voice sharp. Arman, she's not the problem. She's the reason we're alive. A wounded dirt biker spits blood in the sand, glaring at Elara. Dirt biker, she bent gravity. Saved a kid, sure, but if she's tagged, we're all targets. You wanna bet your lives on love. The words cut deep. Elara turns away, hood back up, hiding the faint glow on her skin. Arman fierce, to convoy. Listen, they're not after you. They're after us. If you wanna leave, do it. But don't you dare call her a liability. She's the only damn reason we've lasted this long. Silence. Faces tense. A few soldiers look ready to peel off. The sergeant finally nods. Sergeant, all right. Musician, you get one more shot. But if she turns, I pull the trigger myself. Arman clenches his jaw, but doesn't answer. Elara's hand brushes his, unseen by the others. Radio goes to betrayal as the convoy pushes forward. Elara tunes her wrist feed. Static hisses. Then a voice slides through. Familiar. Wrong. Kesh. Hala grainy. Elara. It's me, Kesh. Don't trust the humans. Bring the seed to us, we can mask you from the council. Elara stiffens. Arman, watching her. Same guy as before. She nods slowly. Elara. Whisper. He was the first dissident to answer my call. Now, he's speaking council code, braided under his own words. Arman's fists tighten on the wheel. Arman, then the council has a mole inside the dissidents. Or worse, someone's playing puppet. The radio voice grows harsher, more insistent. Kesh warped. Give us the human. He's leverage, nothing more. Protect the mission, Elara. Logic demands it. Elara flinches. Arman's knuckles go white. Arman into radio, snarling. You want leverage? Leverage this. He yanks the radio plug and hurls it into the floorboards. Sparks die. For a long beat, only the road hums under tires. Elara low. Shaken, the Inquisitor is inside their network, using their voices. using their trust. Canyon set piece. The trap springs, the convoy rounds a bend into a narrow sandstone pass. Too quiet, too still. Sergeant, over radio, eyes open. Smells like an ambush. Elara's glow flares faintly, instinct, not choice. Suddenly shadows detach from the walls. Dozens of council drones, smaller than before, sleek like knives. They hum and sink, wings slicing the air. Arman grim, he was waiting for the tag. The drones dive. Blue nets erupt, snapping like jellyfish tendrils. Dirt biker panicked. They're everywhere. Arman swerves hard, Mustang tires spitting sand. Elara eyes blazing. Don't fight the canyon. Use it. She throws her hands outward. The walls bend just a fraction. The drone's depth perception shatters. Half slam into stone like broken arrows. The rest regroup, tighter, smarter. From the ridge above, a figure rises, not fully alien, not fully human. The scout boy. Collared again, voice doubled, scout council voice through him. Run all you like. Every canyon echoes. Every echo leads back to me. Arman's breath catches. He slams the gas. Arman to Elara, teeth gritted. Then let's make the echo so damn loud it breaks his ears. Mini cliffhanger, the fingerprint, the Mustang rockets forward. Elara braces, eyes burning bright. Suddenly her whole body jolts, as if yanked by an invisible chain. She gasps, collapses against the dash. Her glow flickers. Arman shouting, Elara, what's happening? Her voice is ragged, alien static threading her words. Elara whisper, he's inside. He's reading me like a fingerprint. Her hands shake, glowing cracks, spidering up her arms. Narrator, the Inquisitor didn't just tag her body. He tagged her soul, and in that canyon, under the desert sun, love was about to learn how much it could carry before it burned. Canyon shakes exterior. Nevada Canyon, midday est boils. The convoy roars forward, but the canyon feels alive, like it's watching them. Inside the Mustang, Arman grips the wheel, knuckles bone white. Elara slumps against the dash, glow flickering like a dying star. Arman, urgent. Elara, stay with me. Her eyes snap open, pupils flaring like twin suns. Her voice is half hers, half someone else's. Elara ragged, layered. He's pulling. My pattern. If he finishes, I'll be him before I'm me. Arman, furious. Not on my watch. Narrator. Some enemies don't need to kill you. They just need to wear you. Sky splits. Shrill screech cuts the air. The drones above rearrange, forming a perfect spiral, a hunter's snare, tightening. The sergeant's Humvee chews gravel. Gunner firing bursts that spark harmlessly off drone armor. Dirt bikers weave figure eights, buying seconds at the cost of skin. Sergeant radio, harsh, too many. We'll never shoot 'em all down. Arman's eyes flick to Elara. Arman to himself. Then we don't shoot. We blind. Improvised weapon. He jerks the Mustang toward the cliff wall. Sparks sprang as the side mirror scrapes sandstone. He pops the glove box wires. A dead radio. Elara's spare crystal. Arman to Elara, voice tight. Hey, Starfire, can you give me 5 volts? Just 5. Elara groans, lifts a trembling palm. Glow, pulsing faint. Sparks crawl across the crystal. Arman yanks loose speaker wire, twists it into the Mustang's head unit. A jolt, then the car stereo screams. A frequency so raw the canyon howls back. The drone spiral fractures, half slam into each other, dropping like metallic hail. Dirt biker, laughing, hoarse. Holy hell, rock and roll. Inquisitor speaks through flesh. The reprieve lasts seconds. From the ridge, the collared scout stumbles forward, eyes rolling. Voice now fully the Inquisitor's. Scout voice doubled, booming. You bend light, you bend air, but you can't bend what you are. She is mine. Elara's body seizes. She screams, not in pain, but in resistance. Her glow surges, uncontrolled, spilling across the dashboard. The Mustang rattles like it's inside a storm. Arman grabbing her hand. Look at me. You're Elara, not his. Not theirs. Mine. Ours. For a heartbeat, her eyes focus. The glow steadies, but faint cracks of alien script burn across her skin like tattoos alive. Council's net from above. A massive gravity net unfolds. Blue threads stretching across the canyon like a web ready to drop. Sergeant yelling, net incoming. If it lands, we're done. Arman slams the wheel. The Mustang fishtails, but the net descends too wide. Too fast. Elara's voice cuts sharp, alien syllables shredding the air. She throws both hands, skyward glow, exploding into a counterfield. The net collides. For an instant, the canyon holds two skies, one human, one alien. Then both shatter, rocks explode, vehicles spin. The dirt bikers wipe out. One screams as his machine cartwheels. The Humvee smashes into a wall, pinned. The Mustang flips sideways, metal screaming, then slams upright on battered wheels. Betrayal revealed smoke chokes the canyon. Arman staggers out, dragging Elara, half-conscious. From the wrecked Humvee, the sergeant crawls, blood in his teeth. He waves Arman down. Sergeant Raspy, it wasn't just the dissidents. One of mine. Sold you out. Arman freezes. Arman, what? The sergeant coughs, spits red. Sergeant, the net hit us because they knew our route. Somebody fed them coordinates. Behind them, a soldier rises from the Humvee wreck. Not helmet cracked, visor up. His eyes glow faint blue. Traitor soldier, cold. The council doesn't need armies. Just one voice in the right ear. He raises his rifle, aimed straight at Elara. Arman steps in front, fists clenched. No weapon but his body. Arman defiant. Then you'll have to shoot through me. The traitor's finger tightens on the trigger and the canyon learned betrayal has its own gravity. Asterisk. Betrayal made flesh exterior. Canyon floor. Noon. Dust storm. The traitor soldier stands tall. Rifle leveled at Elara. His eyes glow faint blue. Alien script twitching faintly on his skin. Traitor soldier cold. She's not your savior. She's a signal. Every breath she takes is a message to the council. Kill her, and maybe Earth gets mercy. Arman fury. You sold your own planet for what? Mercy? The soldier doesn't flinch. Traitor soldier, I didn't sell it. I survived it. You think love can stop orbit strikes? You think your songs matter in a war of galaxies? He cocks the rifle. Sergeant hoarse, bleeding. Drop it, private. That's an order. The soldier sneers. Traitor soldier, I don't take orders from corpses. Arman stand the rifle's muzzle flashes. Arman moves before thought, shoving Elara behind him. But instead of impact, the bullet bends midair, curving like water around a stone. Elara rises, eyes blazing. Her hands glow with trembling force. Elara voice layered. No more cages. No more collars. She flicks her wrist. The rifle twists in half like soft clay. The traitor snarls. Charges bare-handed movements, jerky puppet strings pulled by an unseen master. Arman meets him head-on. The two men crash in the dirt, fists in fury. The traitor slams Arman's face into gravel. Arman spits blood, eyes burning. Arman growling. You think you're strong because he's inside you? You're just an empty room he borrowed. He drives his forehead into the soldier's nose. Bone crunches. The glow flickers in the traitor's eye. Inquisitors touch suddenly. A freezing wind ripples through the canyon. Everyone stiffens. Even the traitor pauses, as if listening. Elara staggers, clutching her head. Elara, screaming. He's here inside. Her glow erupts, burning cracks across her arms and neck, like living fractures of light. She drops to her knees. Above, the air shimmers, and the Inquisitor's projection manifests. a towering figure of shadow and light, eyes burning like knives, Inquisitor voice like thunder. You thought you escaped my net. You thought love would blind me, but love is just a vein to bleed through. He gestures. The traitor's body jerks upright, strings yanked. His voice warps, layered with the Inquisitor's. Traitor, Inquisitor, through him, I taste your fear. Through you, I own your defiance. Elara screams as her tag burns, a glowing brand on her wrist flaring like molten metal. Knife in the dark, Arman staggers to Elara, grabbing her wrists. Arman shouting, "Look at me, not him, me." Her eyes flicker between alien blue and soft human warmth. Elara, gasping, I can't hold him out. He's stronger. Arman raw, desperate, then let me in. If he's reading you like a book, let him choke on my story too. Without waiting, he presses his forehead to hers. Her glow surges into him. For a split second, Arman feels the Inquisitor's presence, a cold, endless void, cruel and vast. Inquisitor inside Arman's mind, mocking, a musician, a child. You dare put your hands on the strings of eternity? Arman through gritted teeth. Yeah, and I'll play so loud, it breaks you. He roars, and in that roar, Elara's glow flares outward. The canyon walls tremble. The traitor collapses, unconscious, collar sparking. The Inquisitor's projection staggers, briefly distorted, not gone, but shaken. Escapes a sergeant, limps forward, rifle raised at the projection, though bullets can't touch it. Sergeant defiant. You're not God. You're just a thief in the wires. Arman hauls Elara to her feet. She's pale, weak, but alive. Arman to convoy. Everyone move. Back to the rigs. We're leaving this canyon now. They scramble. The Mustang coughs but starts. The Humvee groans, dragging half its armor. Dirt bikers push each other upright. Above. The Inquisitor's voice echoes across stone. Inquisitor mocking. Run. Build bridges. Sing your little songs. Every note only sharpens the silence. I'll end you with. Cliffhanger. The blood price as the convoy rattles out of the canyon. Elara slumps in the passenger seat, eyes half-lidded. Arman glances at her wrist. The tag still burns faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat not her own. Arman whisper to himself, I'll cut it out if I have to. I'll burn it out with my own hands. Elara stirs, her voice barely a breath. Elara, he's not just tracing me anymore. He's inside. And every time I fight him, I lose a little more of myself. Arman's hands tighten on the wheel. His face hardens, determination burning. The canyon gave them survival, but survival is not victory. And the Inquisitor's hand now reached deeper than ever before. The road stretched west, but the real battlefield was already inside their hearts.